Once again, the internet has found a way to create uncomfortable discourse between men and women, except this time they've managed to get bears involved. Yes, you heard correctly, the gender war has expanded to include other species. I guess that's one way to do inclusivity. Hopefully, I can offer a feminine perspective on the topic of man versus bear and help you, curious gentlemen, understand my fellow ladies a little bit better. And speaking of curious things, you're probably wondering how I managed to get such an attractive furry fellow to model with me for the thumbnail. I have a confession to make. The thumbnail isn't real. I couldn't get a sexy enough bear, so I utilized susu.bot, my AI counterpart, to create this image. If this explanation made you even more confused, check out this video I made. Susu.bot, for all your bear fantasy needs. I need to come up with a better slogan. Anyway, the man versus bear question turned into a heated debate, which raged into an outright internet storm, and it all started on TikTok, much like most of these horrible things do. Recently, a TikTok has gone viral in which an interviewer asks multiple women which they would rather be in a forest with, a man or a bear. The answers were rather interesting, so see for yourself.
Would you rather be stuck in a forest with a man or a bear?
Bear. Man is scary.
With a bear.
What I've heard about bears, they don't always attack you, right? Unless you like f with them. So maybe a bear.
Depends what man, but probably a bear.
Oh, 100% a bear, which is like terrifying to say, but
Definitely a bear. Some men are very scary out there.
a bear.
I would say a man.
I saw a lot of guys scratching their heads in confusion, wondering why women would pick the big scary bear over a guy. And I understand why they'd be confused, because, like, it's way easier to fight a guy than a bear. I mean, there's so many ways to end a human life. And their bodies are, like, a lot easier to take apart and dispose of. I'm not speaking from experience. It's just biology. Seriously. Here's the facts. The most common bear species in the US is the Ursus americanus, aka American black bear. The adults on average usually weigh between 200 to 500 pounds, can run at speeds of up to 30 miles per hour, and have a bite force of 970 psi. Even a small black bear weighing at around 120 pounds can easily lift over 300 pounds with one paw. Keep in mind the black bear is the smallest of the bear species found in North America. Grizzlies and polar bears make these guys look like fucking bitches. Yet, even compared to this smaller bear species, your garden variety man doesn't even come close. The average male run speed is 80 miles per the average male run speed is 8 miles per hour, and the fastest human running speed was Usain Bolt's top speed of 27 miles per hour, which he reached briefly in his record-breaking 100-meter dash in 2009. Sorry, but the bear still clears with that 30 miles per hour. Bobo, stop it! Unless the guy in the woods is Hafthor Julius Bjornsson with a chug jug of PCP-laced adrenochrome, everyone has a better chance against the man than the bear. Right? Well, yeah, absolutely. But it's not quite that simple.
If I survive the bear attack, I won't have to see the bear at family reunions. The worst thing the bear can do is kill me. The bear sees me as a human being. After what those men did to that monitor lizard, the bears are not safe with men either. The bear doesn't get enjoyment out of it. The bear didn't pretend to be my friend for months beforehand. No one will say that I liked the bear attack. No one will talk about the bear's bright future. If the bear and the man both want to hurt me and I scream loud enough, there's a better chance that the bear will actually run away. A bear wouldn't film it and send it to all his friends. The men getting angry at this don't realize that there are fates worse than death. Ask Junko Furuta, Sadie Robinson, Shanann Watts if they would choose the man or the bear.
What really stood out to me was that all the women answering bear saw themselves as guaranteed victims instead of potential survivors. All these women speak like their demise is inevitable, be it man or bear. And sadly, I understand why they would feel this way. The world views women as perpetual victims, and a majority of women have been conditioned to see themselves as weak and see men as these potential evil defilers of their virtue. And like, yeah, everyone knows not all men are like this, but the depths of human evil has led to acts of violence far more grisly than the actions of any bear. See what I did there? So even though the average man may be far easier to dispose of than a bear, the things a person is capable of are infinitely scarier. I mean, there isn't a bear equivalent to Albert Fish, the serial killer slash rapist slash kid diddler slash sadomasochistic cannibal. And just look at this video.
There's no way y'all would rather be trapped in the woods with a bear over a man.
In March of 2022, 4 men were convicted of gang raping, murdering, and then eating a monitor lizard. They were caught because the trail cams in the wildlife preserve recorded it. Somebody went back and saw those videos and saw this act. Tell me again why I should be more afraid of bears.
Really? A goddamn lizard? Now you might say, but Susu, women do horrible things too. And like, yeah, I'm well aware of that because I love doing horrible things. But it is with a heavy heart that I must say that female murderers are completely dwarfed by their male counterparts. Only 8.6% of known US serial killers are female. Ladies, come on. Is this how you want us represented in the serial killer community? Like a bunch of fucking flops? I'm appalled and embarrassed by these numbers. It's yet another instance of us losing to men, and as much as it disappoints me, these statistics clearly show why no one is scared to see us in the woods. It really speaks volumes to how horrendous humans are, since we've gotten to the point where a hypothetical guy is seen as more frightening than a natural-born apex predator like a bear. But if guys were as wary of women as women are of guys, I wouldn't have been able to add so many boyfriends to my collection, so I guess there is a silver lining to all this. There's also the tragic truth that women all over the world are taught that if we do or say or wear certain things or act certain ways, our chances of spawning a crazed assailant from the shadows increases by 200%. It's a good thing I put up torches around the spawn block, you know, like in Minecraft. YouTube algorithm, I said Minecraft. What are my odds of this video getting like 1 million views? And since we're talking odds and numbers, check out this guy using statistics to figure out who's scarier, men or bears.
Not really sure why this is a debate, but here we are. And I've seen a whole lot of comments from people who don't understand women's stories or statistics. So to be clear, the answer is unequivocally a bear, and here are the 2 reasons why. First, the numbers. In the United States, there are 340,000 bears and about 57 million hikers, 26 million of which are female. Since 2020, there have been exactly 7 women killed by bears and 15 non-fatal attacks on women. In the US, there are also 165 million men and 168 million women. Since 2020, there have been 8,000 fatal attacks on women by men and 1.6 million non-fatal attacks. Yeah, but what about adjusting for population size? Okay, fine. But first, just so we're clear, this is an impossible hypothetical because in the US, the Departments of Natural Resources in every state regulate the population of bears. They do not regulate the population of men. But sure, for the sake of this, let's do the impossible. In order to adjust for population, the number of bears in the United States would have to increase by a multiplier of 485 in order to equate to the same population of men. In other words, to get us to 165 million bears, which means you'd have to take that same 485 and make it a multiplier of the incidence. So in this hypothetical, 3,395 deaths and 7,275 non-fatal attacks, which means even in this impossible hypothetical of 165 million bears, you're still greater than 2 times more likely to be killed by a man than a bear if you're a woman in the United States, and about 220 times more likely to be involved in a non-fatal attack by a man than a bear. Oh, also, I should note, statistics on bear attacks are not infamously underreported, unlike the other side of the equation, where statistics show that only about 1/5 of violent encounters against women by men are actually reported, and less than 1/5 of those actually lead to an arrest, and less than 1/100th of those lead to a felony conviction, which means 1% of the ones that are actually reported, meaning not only that men who perpetrate these acts are much more likely to go free than they are to be punished, but also have the opportunity to do it again. Do you want to know what the punishment is for a bear who kills or even injures a human being? There are no repeat offenders, and there is no recidivism. Oh, and not to mention that most states have laws on self-defense against bears that are, let's just say, very favorable to the human being attacked. Whereas, by the way, in the United States, when a woman who brings a legal claim of self-defense, they are 2 times more likely to be found guilty of a crime themselves than when a man brings up a claim of self-defense. It's almost like we just don't believe women or something. You know? Speaking of which, the second reason why the answer is bear. It's because women are telling you that it's bear. That's kind of all that matters.
Crazy stuff. You know, I can also do math to shed some light on this topic. You know, they say we're all created equal, but you look at a bear and you look at a man, and you can see that that statement is not true. See, normally when you go one-on-one against another man, you got a 50-50 chance of winning. But bears are genetic freaks and not normal. So you got a 25% chance at best at beating one. Then you add cocaine to the mix, your chances of winning drastically go down. See, against a bear, I got a 33 1/3 chance of winning. But against a man, I got a 66 2/3 chance of winning. So, men, you take your 33 1/3 chance of winning minus my 25% chance of beating the bear, and you got an 8 1/3 chance of winning. But then you take my 75% chance at winning if we was to go one-on-one, and then add 66 2/3%, and I got 141 2/3 chance of winning at the forest. See, the numbers don't lie, and they spell disaster for men. Even though this debate is strongly pushed as women versus men, many men are also offering reasons why they too would choose the bear.
Would you rather your daughter be trapped in the woods with a bear or a man? The bear. It's obvious. You only have to survive 5 nights. It's only one of the animatronics, so you don't even have to learn all of their patterns. I watched a game theory video and I know the law. They only really care about getting the man. So you'll be safe, my daughter would be safe. The man, on the other hand, child murderer. That's not very cool. He makes a bad product. The animatronics were bad before they even got possessed. Not a very good family man, he was wrapped up in his work all the time. Not very cool. So the bear, every day.
Brace yourself, viewers. This next video is not for the faint of heart.
So I just got hit on by a bigger man at Walmart while I was trying to buy a toilet seat. He came up to me and started telling me about all of the donuts he just ate. He had 12. No, wait, 24. And 6 bagels. Which is impressive. But then he showed me his tummy and asked me if I wanted to fill my tummy that much. And then he told me he was gay. I didn't ask, but he told me. And then he told me that he'd like to rub the tummies of people that he was with while they ate. And asked me if I would ever want to be big. I was just trying to buy a toilet seat. I would like to choose the bear now.
Terrifying. Now check out this father's perspective when asked to choose between a man or a bear for his daughter.
Would you rather our daughter be in the woods with a bear or a man?
Like, is the bear near her?
They're just in the woods.
You say it like man. What kind of man?
That's all we know. Man or bear?
I don't like it. I don't like either. I don't know.
What about woman or bear?
Woman.
Yeah. Do you have an answer?
I'm leaning towards the bear. Maybe it's a friendly bear.
What if it's a friendly man?
Oh, that's worse.
No one, regardless of gender or even species, is safe. And that's why I firmly believe more of us, especially all the scared women out there, should definitely be learning how to effectively defend ourselves. Unfortunately, women's self-defense often markets ineffective trinkets painted pink as self-defense tools. Stop buying those stupid plastic cat keychains with the spikes on them, and invest in other vastly more effective tools. You don't need to type women's self-defense because a lot of what's marketed to us is fucking toys. Instead, look into non-lethal self-defense. I say non-lethal because I'm aware that many places have a lot of restrictions on what you can buy or carry, and non-lethal methods have the most options for people in such circumstances. I know people see that I collect knives and assume I do so for self-defense because I have a 1 hour long video where I show my collection. But knives and close combat items should not be your first line of defense. Long-range self-defense is your friend. Did you know it only takes about 300 lumens to temporarily blind an attacker and escape? That's why a tactical flashlight is a great choice. Also, for your consideration, mace in gel form. The spray mace has a big chance of being blown in the wrong direction by a gust of wind, so that's why the gel form is better. Also, if you really want to go apeshit on a lunatic coming after you and you're able to invest in self-defense classes, try Judo or Aikido. These styles are a great choice for smaller people defending against someone larger or stronger. Throw that motherfucker straight to hell! Also, as a woman, I'd like to formally say that it truly eats armadillo ass that no matter what, we are always viewed as victims. Or potential victims. I'm speaking from my centuries of experience living as a woman, but that's way too much data to present in a single YouTube video, so I'll use one personal experience to illustrate my point here. A few years back, a clip of me from one of my Twitch streams went viral. This clip of me was like everywhere from World Star to Reddit to TikTok, and eventually YouTube, where I uploaded the clip to my own channel since everyone else was sharing it anyway. I'm talking about the infamous TikTok time to fuck video. This clip of me has been shared constantly since it happened, and every time people say the same tired lines. This is how you get stalkers. Someone is going to do something horrible to her. Or, my favorite, implying that I was sexualizing myself by wearing that oh so provocative John Cena shirt, and therefore I shouldn't be upset if a man tries to do internet sex with me or whatever, which is hilarious considering I'm not even mad in the clip, I'm just trying to figure out the logistics of a drive-by anonymous booty call from the faceless horny man on the internet. And this part is the real punch in the pancreas. Can you guess who left the most comments telling me I was gonna get attacked by a man? It wasn't feminists. It wasn't other women. It was men. Is this like some kind of self-report? Or what? No wonder women are so scared if this is what we're being told all the time. Women are conditioned to live in fear, and when a woman says men are scary, she's told not to worry so much because not all men are like that, which is true. But then when we live our lives without that man fear driving every choice we make, we're told that the sex boogeyman is right around the corner. So what is the appropriate amount of fear? Despite my extensive research making it pretty obvious that most of us would have a better chance of escaping a man attack versus a bear attack, I still get why others are picking the bear. If you get attacked by a bear, no one tries to put you in jail. If you defend yourself, even if lethal force is used, there are so many cases of people defending themselves against another person and also winding up in prison, sometimes for life. Sorry, guess I should have died instead of protecting myself. Also, if you joke about bear attacks, no one shows up to say, "See, that's how you end up getting mauled by a bear." Fuck you. And this is because we don't view bear attacks as a normal part of the human experience, so we haven't grown complacent and tolerant. I wish we had the same view in regards to humanity and how we treat each other. Sucks that violence is so normalized because we're all like killing each other. Stop doing that. Stop doing that, and instead work together to develop solid space travel so we can go out into the universe and spread democracy. Is that what it would take to get humans to kill each other less? An alien species to subjugate instead? That got a little dark there, so to make it up to you, here's a cute bear video. Hashtag not all bears.
A kind lady saved an injured black bear, and later, the grateful bear began to frequent her home. Sometime later, the bear visited the kind lady again, politely straightened the crooked carpet, and then closed the door behind him with his mouth and left. When the bear's eye was mostly healed, he visited the lady again. After making sure she was all right, closed the door behind him with his beak and left. From then on, when the lady wanted to invite the bear into the house, the bear would politely stand guard at the door so as not to dirty the floor, while closing the door behind him each time he left. Even in snowy weather, the bear would come to the door and the kind lady would brush the snow off the bear. Then one day, to the lady's surprise, the bear came with its cubs, seemingly to remind its offspring of the lady, and even though the cubs were still too timid to enter the house, the lady was touched. In an interview, the lady admitted that she never expected the bear to be so touching. The lady also noticed that the bear seemed to have made a home near her house, so the lady usually visited the bear and its cubs. The grateful black bear has been guarding its rescuer, and it makes you wonder at the wonder of the world.
Did anyone notice that the bear video said the bear's beak? Anyway, thanks for watching, and hopefully this video wasn't too unbearable. Please subscribe.